You did it. You crushed your weight loss goals. You feel amazing. You look incredible. And you finally found freedom from the junk in your trunk and the toxins in your pantry. Victory is yours. But I've got to tell you a secret, one that the diet industry hopes you never figure out. The hard part isn't the weight loss. The hard part is the maintenance. It's the second half of the game. And most people, they lose the lead right here. If you hit your goal using keto or carnivore, you are now standing at the most critical fork in the road. Do you stick with the plan that got you here? And if so, which one? Today we are going to settle the great debate, carnivore versus keto, and which one is the ultimate maintenance champion. I'm going to break down the pros and cons of both. And then I'm going to share my non-negotiable 3-step maintenance blueprint, a plan that has nothing to do with food and everything to do with keeping that life-changing weight off for good. Stay tuned, because the difference between a sustainable lifestyle and a sad, predictable rebound comes down to one simple, game-changing mistake I see everyone make. So don't touch that dial. So let's get started. Let's talk about the maintenance mindset. Now, I call this the victory lap danger zone. You get comfortable, right? You tell yourself, oh, I've earned this little indulgence meal. And that, my friend, is how the 2 pounds turn into 20. Maintenance is not about rest. It's about reinforcement. It's about building a fortress around the health you fought so hard for. And the reason you need a specific maintenance plan is psychological, it's metabolic, and frankly, it's societal. We are surrounded by highly palatable, addictive foods. Your body is happy with its new set point, but the world is trying to drag you back to the old one. So, let's look at the 2 best options for holding the line, keto and carnivore. They both got you into that magical state of fat burning, but they operate a little differently when the pressure is off. So, stick with me, because when we get to the carnivore side of the argument, you're going to hear about a powerful metabolic advantage that keto just can't touch. Let's start with the classic, our dear friend, the ketogenic diet. Keto maintenance is all about flexibility, and that's both its superpower and its kryptonite. The pro: when done right, keto maintenance offers a gentler transition. You can slightly increase your carbohydrate allowance, maybe from 20 grams to 50 grams of total carbs per day. This allows you to reintroduce a wide variety of nutrient-dense, fiber-rich vegetables, a few berries, or maybe some legumes, without losing ketosis. The variety can be a huge win for mental sanity and dietary compliance. You can still go out to a friend's house and find something acceptable. It's practical. The con: I call it the carb creep. This is the downfall of almost every person who tries to maintain on keto. You start with 50 grams, then it's 70, then it's one big slice of cake on the weekend. And before you know it, you've lost the metabolic edge of being fat adapted. You start craving carbs again. You start feeling those old energy dips. You are walking in metabolic tightrope, and it is exhausting. Keto maintenance requires vigilance. You are essentially having to constantly negotiate with yourself over the small amount of carbs you reintroduce. You are using sheer willpower to manage variety, and willpower is a finite resource. It runs out right around 7 p.m. when you're tired, bored, and that bag of chips is whispering your name from the pantry. Now let's look at the carnivore diet for maintenance. This diet, for many, is less a diet and more a metabolic philosophy. And in the maintenance phase, its strength lies in one word: simplicity. The pro: elimination and clarity. With carnivore, you eliminate almost all negotiation. There's no 20-gram line to police. You're either eating animals or you're not. This radical simplicity is a powerful tool against the mental fatigue of dieting. It builds a behavioral fortress. You don't have to count macros. You don't have to weigh your broccoli. And you certainly don't have to look up the carbs in that dressing. This freedom from tracking keeps your maintenance plan stress-free. Furthermore, many people find that staying zero carb completely suppresses the kind of addictive food cravings that keto can sometimes leave lingering. It's an on-off switch from sugar and processed food. The con: the nutritional fear and social challenge. for some people. The lack of variety feels restrictive over the long haul. The world still looks at you like you have 3 heads when you order a steak and nothing else. You need to be prepared for social friction and a potential fear about getting enough micronutrients. Even though we know that nose-to-tail eating and right animal-based foods are incredibly nutrient-dense. Carnivore maintenance is the ultimate black and white rule set. It's easy to follow because there are no shades of gray, but you have to be ready to commit to that boundary. All right, we've analyzed the tools, but now we get to the player. In this next section, I review the 3 non-food related steps that will make either of these diets a guaranteed success for maintenance. This is the difference maker. I call it my 3-step maintenance blueprint. So which one is better? The answer is the least satisfying one, but the most honest. The one you can stick to. But wait, don't click away. I'm going to make the choice easier for you by giving you the 3-step framework that turns either ketones flexibility or carnivore simplicity into a long-term sustainable happy life. Because this right here is what separates the winners from the regainers. Step 1 is your metabolic anchor, and that's to embrace fasting. Whether you are keto or carnivore, your diet is a low-carb diet. This means your body is fantastic at burning fat. You must leverage this. The single best tool for maintenance is a consistent, non-negotiable fasting schedule. You do not need to fast for 5 days. You need an anchor. I recommend a minimum of a consistent 16-8 or 18-6 intermittent fasting schedule, maybe 3 days a week. Why it works. Fasting is your metabolic cleanup crew. It gives your digestive system a break. It helps increase insulin sensitivity, which is key to keeping the weight off. And it gives you a small automatic calorie deficit. Think of fasting as your metabolic retirement savings plan. You're making small, consistent deposits of health that pay huge dividends in longevity and leanness. No negotiation, no willpower needed. You just wait until the clock says go. Step 2, better known as the sleep and stress audit. Listen up. If you're not eating perfectly, exercising regularly, and the scale is creeping up, I guarantee you have an unseen saboteur. I'm talking about cortisol, your stress hormone. Maintenance is not just about what you eat. It's about how you live. Lack of quality sleep and high stress are 2 of the most powerful wrecking balls for low-carb metabolism. They spike cortisol. Cortisol spikes blood sugar. And high blood sugar is a fast train back to insulin resistance and fat storage. You need to audit your life. Let's start with sleep. Are you getting 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep? No scrolling in bed. Stress. Do you have a daily, non-negotiable stress management tool? Meditation, walking, or maybe just watching a funny video like I try to make mine sometimes. Whatever it is, commit to it. This is the non-sexy, non-food part of maintenance, but it is the foundation of the whole thing. Without solid sleep and stress management, your metabolism is running on quickstand. Step 3, let's call it the protein priority step, which is your metabolic insurance. Because whether you choose keto or carnivore, you must prioritize protein. This is your metabolic insurance policy. When you're in the maintenance phase, it's easier to lose your precious muscle mass. Muscle is metabolically active. It burns calories when you are sitting around. When you lose muscle, you lower your basal metabolic rate. And suddenly, those extra calories you were getting away with start sticking. Here's an actionable takeaway. Aim for at least 1 gram of protein per pound of your goal body weight. Yes, you heard me. If you're a 160 pound of goal weight person, that's 160 grams of protein. You want that protein to be the main event at every single meal. It keeps you full, it preserves your muscle, and it costs very few metabolic dollars. That is what prevents the dreaded skinny fat syndrome. So to answer the question, carnivore or keto for maintenance? Carnivore gives you the simplicity and the powerful metabolic on-off switch. Keto gives you the flexibility and the dietary variety. Choose the one that doesn't feel like a life sentence to you. But no matter what you choose, your success is not determined by the food on your plate, but by the application of my 3-step blueprint: fasting, sleep stress audit, and protein priority. And if you're ready to solidify your win, grab your favorite animal-based fuel, commit to your fasting window, and make sleep non-negotiable. I thank you for watching. Keep inspiring, keep fighting the good fight, and until next time, stay healthy.